when you know who you're focused on, who your target audience is, and when you know what the thing is that they're struggling with, when you know that, you know where they'd rather be instead. So I say, this is where your client is, this is where they'd rather be, and this is what we do. So when you know those two things, then you know what your coaching package should look like, because it should take people from here to here. There's a big caveat around this, actually. We can come to that. You take them from here to here. You know how it's impacting their lives. You know what the cost is to them, even if it's not a financial cost. It might be, but it might not be. So you know, therefore, what the price should be. But you need all of those things. You need to know who it is. You need to know what they're struggling with. You need to know what that's costing them. And when you do, well, you build a package that helps them go from here to here, and you price accordingly. This, when I said, this is where your client is, and this is where they want to be, and this is what we do. One of the things that coaches can get really bent out of shape about is that if you're sitting down in front of somebody, if I say to them, what outcome does your client want? They will say it depends. It depends on the person. It depends on their goals. It depends on how hard they work. It depends, because they're sitting on the delivery side of their business. If you sit on the creating the opportunity to do the delivery side of your business, then you're still client focused, but you're focused on one client. You're focused on your ideal client avatar who sits at the intersection between the what and the who. And people will never buy what they need. They will only ever buy what they want. So we know our clients here, and we know they want to be here, or that's what they think right now. They think that they want to be here. Now, what you know as a coach is that by the time somebody's in session 3, they are very rarely talking about the same thing they were talking about in session 1. And that chances are they thought they wanted to get to there, but during the coaching process, that might change. However, we have to meet them where they are now. And where they are now is here, wanting to be here. So that's what they want. They want that outcome. We have to wrap what we know they need around that. Let me give you an example to make it make sense. If you're a career coach, your client, let's say they're in a job they hate and they want a new job. So they think they want help with their CV, help with interview skills, and help with writing a CV that's going to get past the AI scanners that mean you never even get an interview, let alone, get a job. That's what they think they want. Now, as a coach, you know that probably the first thing that they want is to sit down and work out what's important to them. What are their values? If you said to that person, no, you don't want CV help. What you need is to it's just patronising beyond belief. So you sell them this, the thing they want, the interview skills, et cetera, and you wrap what they need, the values exercises, because once they've done the values elicitation exercise, then they'll agree that they needed it. But until they have, it just sounds patronising that you're telling them that you know better than they do.